Audio Outlines presents Property Law. Chapter 1. What is property? Property is anything that a person has legal title to. In other words, the term property describes the legal relationship of a person to a thing. There are two types of property that can be owned: personal property and real property. Personal property is tangible and intangible things. Tangible property consists of items that are movable, like merchandise and animals. Intangible property includes rights, like stock, bonds, patents, and copyrights. On the other hand, real property consists of land and anything erected on, growing on, or affixed to the land, including buildings, light fixtures, and crops. Note that land also refers to the air above and the ground below the Earth's surface. Let's move on. There are many different rights that can be associated with property. Since property consists of many rights, it is useful to imagine every piece of property, real or personal, as a bundle of rights that can be divided up and held by different parties. For example, the utility company has an easement to have a telephone pole on someone's land. In this case, the landowner holds the largest bundle of rights, which include the right to occupy the land, the right to exclude others, and the right to transfer the property. At the same time, the utility company has a smaller bundle of rights associated with the land, which includes the right to have a telephone pole on the property, as well as the right to enter the property to make necessary repairs. Let's move on. Note that in order for an item to be considered property, the legal system must enforce ownership rights in the item. In regards to personal property, essentially everything in existence is considered property. However, there are rare exceptions. For example, in 1990, a California court held that surgically removed body parts are not property. In this case, researchers had removed tissue from patients and subsequently profited off the tissue. The patients sued for the money that was made off their own tissue, claiming that they had an ownership interest in the tissue. In this case, the patients did not recover because the court held that no one legally owns body parts or tissue once removed from the human body. The court's decision was based on several public policy considerations, including the desire to further technical innovation in the field of medicine and preventing the selling of human body parts or tissue on the black market. While certain tangible items like body parts may be considered items that are not property, keep in mind that certain intangible things, like intellectual property, can be considered property. Intellectual property consists of patents, copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, and the right in one's identity. In this outline, we will discuss how someone becomes the owner of property. We will look at what happens when personal property is lost and found. We will discuss the estate system and the different types of interests people can have in real property. We will then cover landlord-tenant law. After that, we will look at non-possessory interests in real estate, such as easements and covenants. Then we will discuss the real estate buying and selling process. And lastly, we will discuss deeds and mortgages. In the next chapter, we will discuss ownership of property.